So let's take a look at the Mucho Macho Man. It's a Derby prep run at Gulfstream this weekend. It's the 10th race on the card, and it is at a mile, a one-turn mile. Always got to remember that for 3-year-olds. And we'll look at this field, and this is a pretty balanced field. I consider this to be a pretty tough race to call. There's a lot of horses who have very similar styles, and it's really going to come down to, as it always does with these Derby preps, who's going to take that move forward. We'll take a look here, and you see we've got 3 front runners, and really the wild card to me is Macho Music, because he's really been just, run it and gun it, go all the way until you run out of steam. But they took the blinkers off, so he may be a little more relaxed, and I don't consider him to be quite good enough to win this race. But what it may do is allow Guns Loaded a little bit of a breather. Rolando, I don't think is his last couple races. The fractions he's been setting kind of tells me that if it gets a little crisp on the front end, it's probably going to knock him out. So he's more of just a pace factor. I really liked what I saw from Guns Loaded in his last 6 furlong effort. It was determined. He held off Camp Hale, the leader, who was breathing down his neck in the stretch, and he just kept going. Galloped out well. He's by gun runners, so I don't think the added distance will be a problem at all. And he's very logical, and at 5-2, a favorite, and he's certainly a contender in here. My concern, again, is just wondering if maybe with a fair amount of pace pressure, if Macho Music, the blinkers taking him off doesn't help the cause, he's going to be awful keen, and Guns Loaded may have to work a little harder than he wants to. But he's certainly the best of the front runners, and as we know, Gulfstream is very speed friendly, especially at the one-turn mile. So Guns Loaded, to me, is a major player in this race. Treaty of Rome is for Chad Brown. He's got a couple in here, Septarian being the other. And this one wasn't bad last time. He had, he just kept on. But boy, does he have high leg action. And he looks to me more like a turf horse. And I don't think he's necessarily fast enough at this point. And it's hard to leave out of Chad Brown. We know this, and in one of the two, he could be the one that takes the step. But I just looks to me like turf would be more his bag. So I'm going to let him go. I settled on Cool Intentions for winning this race, and the main thing was I liked the acceleration in the stretch, and that's visually he looked the best to me, and I think just sitting off the leaders, he should be in a very good position. Guns Loaded is going to be tough to run down, but I think Cool Intentions looks to me like a horse that can do it. He's again, the acceleration, there's a lot of horses in here, very similar running styles, like McKellen, Naughty Rascal, Septarian. They're all they look to me to be kind of grinding type of horses, and I don't know that necessarily will play terribly well in this spot. And again, Cool Intentions to me look more of the athletic type of horse, and that's why I like him in this spot at 9-2. I think you're getting a good price. And with having a couple of Chad Browns in here and the IRED tax, that probably will maintain some decent value there. So he would be my pick to win. Naughty Rascal has been running in a lot of ungraded stakes races, so he's had good competition. The problem with him to me is, number one, he has that grinding style, and he's had a couple races where he's had every chance to win, and he just couldn't do it. And again, he doesn't look like he's getting any better. So for that reason, I think you can get him underneath at 12-1 because I think he's going to keep going. But I don't see the upside that I do with others. So to me, he's an underneath play, mainly for the price. McKellen, I'm not gonna use, but I wouldn't talk you out of it if you want to try to use him. He looks to have some talent, but he is green. His last race, he was all over the place in the stretch, and that's the kind of horse to me that is very dangerous because he could put it all together. But I want to wait one. I just didn't visually like what I saw there, and I thought if he was really had really raw talent. Even with all the greenness, he still might have found a way to win his last race, and he didn't. So McKellen, I think, is a bit of an underlay at 5-1 for the reasons stated. Septarian is now in Chad Brown's care, coming up from Laurel, and his last race was okay. He kept on well, but I didn't see that really big acceleration of that turn of foot, and certainly at Chad Brown, they're liable to move forward at any time, and he's had a couple of months to work with this one. He shows a good steady tab. But I just don't like him on top in this race. But I certainly could see him, of the two Chad Browns, I like Septarian a little more. But underneath, I think, would be the ceiling. Sonic Skedaddle is the lone closer in the race, and certainly he may have some pace to run to as he did in his two back at 7 furlongs. And he showed some really nice acceleration. But Gulfstream isn't very kind to closers, and I just don't know if he's got the top end to run down Cool Intentions or Guns Loaded. I think he probably will have a scenario that's favorable to him because I think there will be a fair amount of pace. We'll just see what Macho Music does. But to me, he would be more a candidate for under. I'm going to throw out the Kentucky Jockey Club. He had all kinds of problems in that race. He had to check hard on the back stretch, and he did keep on, but didn't offer much more than that. So to 12-1, I think he's more to spice up the trifecta, perhaps the exacta. So we look at our wagering strategy. I'm going to go with Cool Intentions to win, and hopefully we can keep that price right at 9-2. Guns Loaded is to me it was awful tough to choose between the two of them. If you want to use Guns Loaded as a win candidate, I don't blame you at all. So we're going to go with them 5-1 cold, and then we'll do a 1-5 cold. We'll leverage between the two. And then we'll do a Saver Exacta with 5 on top with 6, 8, and 9. Then for the trifecta, 1-5, 1-5 with 6, 8, 9, with 1-5, with 6, 8, 9, with 1-5. And I think those are the two, to me, Guns Loaded and Cool Intentions, that make the most sense. I'm just going to give a little bit of an edge tactically to Cool Intentions because of the presence of the other confirmed frontrunners for Guns Loaded to deal with. So I hope our analysis helps you with your own wagering strategy, and I wish you the best of luck as always. And of course, if you do like content like this, please like and subscribe. And thanks to all of you who have come on board. The Derby season is starting to heat up. It's pretty exciting, and this should be a really good one, and we'll see what comes out of it. So that's it from here. I'll talk to you soon, and until then, be well.